Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey,
Hello.
and the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
What up, now?
You sound like you're about 10 miles away, Satsu.
It's probably because I just unmuted my mic.
Oh, okay. And I'm your host, Scribe, the Lord of Punishment. Hello, everyone. Hello, chat. Hope everyone had a good week and a good weekend ahead of you. It's been an interesting day for me, but we'll get to that as we proceed. Satsu, how are you?
Pretty good. Having a super interesting conversation with somebody on Twitter right now. You guys will be filled in at fucketry time. But yeah, I'm good.
That's good. And Monkey, how be thee?
Oh, well, I'm not all as coffee and stuffy as I was yesterday, but I'm paying for coughing all day yesterday. But other than that, I'm okay. How you doing, Scribbles?
I'm all right. It's been a odd day, productive day, an interesting day, but an odd day. I'll get to that as we go. But that being said, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games, hit that like button if you have not already, and quite a few of you haven't. I don't know why we go through this every night. This should just be, Skinner's rats, Pavlov's dog kind of situation now. We come live and you guys, click the like button. I mean, are we doing something wrong in your training? Am I doing something wrong in my training of you? I mean,
I think they're not listening.
Feedback is appreciated. And share our stuff. As several people have talked about previously here on the chat, as I was just watching earlier, a lot of people don't know when things are happening because YouTube doesn't tell you, even when you click the button or you click the bell or whatever else. So you guys sharing our content, whether it's the show or any of our videos or anything else dealing with us, or any of the creators and content creators that you like online, period. The sharing and the caring and everything else is really the only way that channels grow now, is because of you guys. So we appreciate it when you do, and we encourage you to do so. But all of that being said, Mata Winter says, yeah, you are not singing enough. Well, what should I be singing? I mean, we do birthdays and such, or is there something else? I don't know.
Birthdays.
Maybe I should start taking requests like a jukebox. It's like drop me some gum money, I'll sing you a song.
There you go.
Yeah. Well then, again, anything else before we get into the schnizzle snuzz?
Game night tonight. We'll be over on Satsu's channel playing some more No Man's Sky. Right after this.
Faithless says it's the singing that's keeping us from growing.
Your mama.
Yeah. All right. Well, a lot of different things happened today, so let's do a potpourri.
Yay.
Satsu, I think it's your turn for potpourri if you're ready and willing.
Let's go.
All right. Your categories are The Wall, Impeachment, Crypto, and Ginsburg.
We'll do crypto.
All right. The IRS is going after cryptocurrency users with warning letters about back taxes. Dun dun dun.
Gotta pay them taxes, man.
The IRS has begun sending thousands of letters to U.S. cryptocurrency holders, warning them they may have incorrectly reported the taxes they owe on their transactions involving digital money. As many as 10,000 taxpayers will have received the letters by the end of August, the IRS said on Friday. Regulators identified the taxpayers through what the agency described as, quote, ongoing IRS compliance efforts, unquote, which is probably the most opaque explanation of how they discovered who all the cryptocurrency users were, or at least those 10,000, which is something I'm still very curious about, but I'll get to that. The IRS is sending out 3 types of letters to taxpayers, known as letter 6173, letter 6174, and letter 6174A, depending on the severity of the issue. On social media, some people who claim to have received the letters say that one version simply asks taxpayers to review their returns and file an amended one if necessary. Another is a more serious warning of possible non-compliance with U.S. tax law and potential IRS enforcement. And a third requires a response, or the recipient will be audited. Thank you, Terry D. Montes. If you take requests, I want the room songified. You're tearing my heart out, Lisa. Or something like that.
Sure,
Hi, Mark. I did not hit her. Anyway, there's my attempt. I don't know. I know I got the lines out of whack, but that's my attempt. So let's see what else. On Thursday night, Nicole Green, a tax preparation professional and certified Bitcoin professional with NGG Tax Group, received an urgent email from a client about possible unreported cryptocurrency transactions. Quote, "No one is talking taxes at 10 p.m. at night in the middle of July," Green told CNN Business, "but this letter got their attention and they were freaked out," unquote. That, it seems, is just the kind of attention the Internal Revenue Service is aiming to get. Quote, "Taxpayers should take these letters very seriously by reviewing their tax filings and, when appropriate, amend past returns and pay back taxes, interest, and penalties," IRS Commissioner Chuck Rettig said. "The IRS is expanding our efforts involving virtual currency, including increased use of data analytics. We are focused on enforcing the law and helping taxpayers fully understand and meet their obligations." But the obligations have not been abundantly clear. Quote, "Because there wasn't a lot of guidance from the IRS except for one publication, many people were like, 'I'll get around to it,'" said Green. "Now the IRS is knocking on doors." This goes on for a bit, but I'm both curious and wondering how they identified people, because I thought cryptocurrency, the whole point behind it was it's anonymous, untraceable.
Sure.
Like I say, I know very, very little about how it all functions, just in like theory and everything else. So that's the part that I'm most curious about. It's like, well, if they've been able to identify 10,000 people who have used cryptocurrency or something else, but they're not telling us anything about how they did it, I'm curious how they did it.
It's a good question, but not one I can even come close to answer. Unless there's, I don't know. You don't have to report that, or can you? I mean, you're supposed to report that, but if you don't, how to?
Yeah, because
how
I
do they
mean,
know?
if somebody gives you a, I don't know, pays for your services in Bitcoin and exceeds whatever the dollar amount is, you have to report it as income technically. But if there's no way to trace their having given it to you or your having received it, how do they know?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the part I don't get. Now, maybe there's somebody in the chat or elsewise that knows more about cryptocurrency than I do, and there's an explanation for that. But that's the part I'm most curious about. Let's see. Motto Winter says crypto records exist, Scribe. Well, yeah, but then doesn't that defeat the whole purpose behind it then? Then it just becomes like any other currency at that point, I would think.
Well, I didn't know it was made to be like anonymous or like some type of hidden thing. I thought it was just like online currency.
No, it's the whole, at least as far as I understand it, the whole point behind it is that it's anonymous. It can be traded without you can't take a Bitcoin and track where it went or how it came to be or anything like that, save for the fact that it was generated with a unique signature, so to speak. So it is a unique coin, each one of them, but they can't be sort of traced insofar as their movements.
I'm surprised the IRS or like the government in general would be like, yeah, that's a thing that's allowed to exist.
Well, that's the thing, is that, once it exists, you can't, put the genie back in the bottle kind of thing. So far as I know, again, I most of this is all sort of theoretical science fiction to me because I don't understand it mostly myself. And the people that I know that have invested in it are taking huge risks, not only legally, but also mostly financially, in trying to get in on Bitcoin, or have been over the last couple of years. Thank you, Three-Sided Coin. Sure you can, when you are flaunting it. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, if you're advertising the fact that you operate with Bitcoin, then sure, you might get a letter. If their analytics were basically like doing a Google search for keywords people were putting onto their tumblers, yeah, you could probably identify some people to send letters to, at least scare them. Let's see. Dark Allow says the wallets and exchanges are linked to specific computers based off of IP and MAC addresses. Each coin has its own history, which is traceable. Okay. All right. Again, that seems to defeat the purpose as far as I understood. Log, Scribe, everything is in the logs. Because there was this, I don't know if it's a true story. There was a guy who had like $5 million in Bitcoin that was accidentally, on a hard drive that was accidentally thrown in the trash. And like in a landfill somewhere, there's a hard drive sitting there with like $5 million in Bitcoin that anybody could conceivably pick up and plug in and just have.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, so Satsu, your remaining categories are The Wall, Impeachment, and Ginsburg.
Let's do Ginsburg.
All right. Ruth Bader Ginsburg defends Kavanaugh and Gorsuch as very decent and very smart.
Uh-oh.
A woman defending Brett Kavanaugh?
So wait, she's Supreme Court, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg came to the defense of her more conservative colleagues on the bench, Justices Brett Kavanaugh and Neil Gorsuch. Quote, I can say that my two newest colleagues are very decent and very smart individuals, she said Wednesday at an event in Washington, D.C., hosted by Duke Law, as she answered questions from Neil Siegel, a law professor and one of her former law clerks. Now that the Supreme Court term has ended, Ginsburg, 86, has been pushing back against criticism of the court, saying in a recent interview with NPR that the 9 justices work well together, and rebutted the idea that the Supreme Court is a partisan institution, according to the news outlet. The comments to NPR from Ginsburg, who earlier this year took a break from the court after undergoing cancer surgery, come amid concerns from progressives that her death or retirement would give President Donald Trump an opportunity to replace a reliably liberal seat on the court with a conservative justice. Ginsburg has sought in recent days to signal that her health is stable and that she has no plans to step down, with the court facing major issues in its next session on immigration, gun control, gay rights, and possibly abortion. Kavanaugh was sworn in on October 6th following a contentious confirmation hearing, that's putting it mildly, inflamed by allegations of sexual assault against him. Kavanaugh replaced retired Justice Anthony Kennedy, who had been the court's swing vote. Gorsuch took his seat on April 10th, 2017, filling the vacancy left by late Justice Antonin Scalia. Both were nominated to the Supreme Court by Trump. Ginsburg has previously praised Kavanaugh for helping the court achieve a historic first. Quote, there is a very important first on the Supreme Court this term, and it's thanks to our new Justice, Justice Kavanaugh, whose entire staff is all women. All of his law clerks are women. You know, that's just because he's a misogynistic pervert.
He's trying to rape him.
Thank you, Ebony Williams. For the sexiest lord, may your belly be ever full of goldfish and women swoon at the sound of your singing voice. Wow, Monkey, you got a lot of praise there.
I heard that.
I know. Thank you, Ebony. And thank you, Three-Sided Coin. Of course she did. What is she supposed to do? Make a hostile work environment and have Cav and Gorsh make a complaint to the EEOC and then have it appealed all the way to the Supreme Court? A woman praising Brett Kavanaugh for surrounding himself with women. Oh my God, what's the world coming to?
Telling you, he's trying to bang him. That's all.
Obviously so. Obviously so. One of those situations where it's like, well, if he populated his law clerks with nothing but men, to try to assuage the idea that he's some kind of woman chaser, then maybe he could, you know, get away with it. But, you know, he's trying to bang him. That's all. Obviously so. Obviously so. One of those situations where it's like, well, if he populated his law clerks with nothing but men, to try to assuage the idea that he's some kind of woman chaser, well, then he's being sexist and patriarchal and misogynistic or something.
I'm curious what the comments look like, because I can guarantee there's some liberal out there like, oh, now I hope that bitch dies.
Well, CNN turned off comments to their stories a couple of years ago because they were getting too much opinion from people on their articles. So who knows? But out in the ether somewhere on Twitter, I can only imagine.
The sad part is Satsu's probably right about that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's that is wow.
Let's see. So your remaining categories are the wall and impeachment.
Let's do impeachment.
All right. I got a few things to say on this one if this is the same story I was looking at earlier today. Pelosi, I'm not slow walking impeachment inquiry. Nadler, it's in effect anyway. That's the part that I have a question about. We'll get there. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said Friday that a decision on whether the House pursues the impeachment of President Donald Trump will be made in a, quote, timely fashion, unquote, and denied the idea that she is trying to, quote, run out the clock on the issue. Her comments came shortly before House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler said at a separate press conference that his panel had already, in effect, been conducting an impeachment inquiry of the president and said in a court filing that, quote, articles of impeachment are under consideration as part of the committee's investigation, although no final determination has been made, unquote. Okay, I'm going to step back a second because what they're doing, they just filed a lawsuit to, once again, to attempt to get the grand jury testimony unsealed effectively from the Mueller report, even though at present, by statute and law and everything, it is the DOJ's discretion as to whether or not that information will be made public. It's not up to a district judge or a court to make that determination as things stand right now. Now, they attempted to do this in the spring and they failed because they came to the same decision. It's like you essentially provided no pressing case that the rules should be changed under these circumstances. But from what I gather, and again, I mean, I've read a couple of stories on this, so maybe I'm misinterpreting it. Their argument this time is going to be essentially saying, because our request or demand for this information is framed within impeachment, that changes the context of the necessity of this information to be released. But here's the problem. And I just read it there. Nadler says that they are, in effect, conducting an impeachment inquiry. But you can't, in effect, conduct an impeachment inquiry. Either impeachment has been voted upon and approved for debate and inquiry, or it hasn't. So you can't go to court and say, we need to get this information so that we can decide if we're going to impeach because we're conducting an in effect impeachment inquiry.
A fact.
So far as I can understand it, the actual circumstances since the last time they tried this haven't changed. Nothing new has come out from Mueller's testimony. So far as I know, no new evidence separately has come in that would somehow, void the DOJ's discretion on this. So I'm not quite sure how they're going to go up to a judge and say that something's different today than it was 3-4 months ago by just saying, oh, well, we're in effect conducting an impeachment inquiry. Am I living in crazy land or what?
No, I get what you're saying there. I don't know. There's not much else to say other than that they're full of shit. I don't know what else to say. They're trying to end run around what they were already told with an entirely stupid premise. You're right. They're just
Yeah, I don't know how you cloak yourself in an impeachment inquiry that hasn't actually been initiated. But on that note, the number of people in the House that have indicated, verbally or otherwise, that they are for proceeding with impeachment has gone up by 5 or 6 more people in the last 24 hours. It was something like 94 representatives. Now it's like at 106. Still not enough over. And now, and everybody else has either not said anything about their position on the matter or have indicated no. But so they still don't have the votes to actually pass the thing if somebody put it forward. But the number is going up slowly. I just don't think it's going up quickly enough, given all the circumstances, and that this is a very quickly cooling issue as far as the American public's concerned, and as far as convincing other representatives that there's any hope of even attempting this. So,
well, again, it's going to come down to public perception after this last hearing. Last 2 hearings, I guess. Because if you can't get the public on your side for this, there's no way they're going for it. Pelosi's already said that.
Non-Vitae Rex, thank you. Weissman report was an impeachment inquiry. I don't know what the Weissman report is. So you have to clarify on that. Now, and I've said this before, if the Democrats, however many there are in the House, honestly believe they have the evidence to show that he's committed, quote unquote, high crimes and misdemeanors, I think they should put their case forward and try to file for impeachment. Even if it isn't going to actually go through the Senate, that should be beside the point. I mean, the principle should be, if you believe the president has violated the law in such a way, then do it.
Did you just say principle?
No, I know. But, I'm talking pie in the sky, Mr. Smith goes to Washington sort of ideals here. Because from the stuff I heard from the Mueller report, and I'm talking about the testimony and everything else, you could convince me that Trump attempted to intimidate and or manipulate witness testimony. There's plenty of examples and witness testimony documentation to show that is probably a case they could make. Whether he'll ever actually be held to account for anything like that or prosecuted for it, I don't know. But the collusion thing aside, obstruction of justice could be shown simply through trying to manipulate witnesses. Now, you would think that'd be enough if they want to consider that high crimes and misdemeanors. And if they went to the American public and said, he tried to make people testify falsely, and we have the evidence to show it, I'd say that's worthy of going after. But there's apparently not even the will to do that amongst the majority of the Democrats in the House. So it's diffused before it even gets anywhere. Even after all this, they can't even get more than 100 representatives so far to agree to go along with it.
Well, that's the problem right there is they can't get people to go along with it because impeachment is a political game. Whether you like it or not, the impeachment part is political. And
yes.
If polls hold up like they have, I think last I saw, and this was a while ago, but last I saw like 72% were against impeachment. That might have come down some, or so like 60s. But that's still a losing platform right there. And even if you go through with it, we've seen all the evidence they have. Unless there's something in that grand jury testimony with somebody going, yes, Trump absolutely did X. It's just going to be more of what we've already seen. And that's their biggest problem. It's just going to be more of what we've already seen. So there's not a big reason to go through with it.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you absolutely, what's the word I'm looking for here? Unless you know the Senate's going to go with you and that something's going to come of it. Because right now, just nothing's going to come of it.
Well, like I say, I think no matter what, whether they do it, if they do it, it's a losing strategy for the DNC. I have no doubt about that. But if they don't do something soon, then they've effectively proven, insofar as Trump is concerned, and the rhetoric will be, that the entire thing was a complete waste of time and a witch hunt that led to nothing. So the only way I see them saving face is to do something. Otherwise, we're going to go into 2020 and Trump's going to have ammunition either way. I mean, they just they completely shot themselves in the foot. But again, on principle, and I know, I'm talking about principle politics. If I was a Democrat and I honestly believed that there was enough there to say that Trump violated the law to the point of high crimes and misdemeanors, I'd go on record trying to impeach him. If for no other reason than I could throw that, I mean, if we're talking politics, I could throw that as red meat to my base when re-election time came around. Like, I tried, I did my best. I put my name behind it. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think you let this one go. You take the L and you move the fuck on.
If they're smart. Because honestly, at this point, if they don't start focusing on issues, if they don't start building their platform as a party, getting ready to stand up whoever's going to end up the candidate out of all this, they're building a house on sand when it comes to 2020. Satsu, you've been quiet?
I don't really know, because like I said, I don't know how a lot of this stuff works. I personally, I've stated before that if they're going to do it, then they need to just fucking do it. Because I agree with Scribe that it could hurt them, on the overall, if their base sees that they kind of bitched out on it. You know what I mean? Because they keep pushing it, they keep talking about it, they keep screaming about it. It's at the top of everybody's agenda list, apparently, but nobody seems to want to, pull the trigger. So I think if they don't, then it could just be, the Democratic base can just be like, yeah, y'all are some bitches.
Well, that and the fact that when Nadler and them announced today that they were going to again try to get the Mueller report unredacted, I'm just like, you just had the guy testify when he didn't want to. You've been building up to that testimony for a year, and you didn't get what you wanted. So now you're dragging this out further. It doesn't look like you're doing anything other than looking like, once again, sore losers. Mm-hmm. That is the reputation I see, or sort of abstractly feel, when instead of making a decision and choosing to act, win, lose, or draw, they're just dragging out the issue further because they didn't get what they wanted again. So yeah, it's your call, Democrats. Either you want to set yourselves up for a complete and absolute failure in 2020, or you want to say, let's call it a day and do something productive. But apparently they're not. Anyway, on another note of productive, kind of, I don't know. This one is the big story of the last couple hours. The Supreme Court has cleared the way for Trump administration to use defense funds for border wall construction. Now it's a done deal, so far as I understand it. The Supreme Court on Friday cleared the way for the Trump administration to use $2.5 billion from the Department of Defense to construct parts of a wall along the southwestern border that the government argues is necessary to protect national security. The decision allows the Defense Department money to be spent now while a court battle plays out over whether the government had the authority to divert funds that were not appropriated for the wall. Hey, caramba. The Supreme Court voted 5-4 along ideological lines to allow the funds to be used while the court appeals play out. So if the appeals eventually went out in the middle of them pouring concrete, do they just stop in the middle?
I'm not sure how that would work, but yeah, something like that, yeah.
Interesting. 3 members of the liberal wing of the court, Justices Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Sonia Sotomayor, and Elena Kagan, wrote they would have blocked the funds for now. The 4th member, Justice Stephen Breyer, wrote separately to say that he would have allowed the government to use the funds to finalize the terms for contractors, but block the funds from being used for the actual construction. The Supreme Court's order is a significant win for Trump, who is likely to use the construction of a wall as a major talking point on the campaign trail. The decision overrules a lower court decision that had blocked the transfer of funds while appeals played out. A panel of judges from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals refused to allow the use of the funds earlier in the month, holding that challengers were likely to prevail in their case because the use of the funds, quote, violates the constitutional requirements that the executive branch not spend money absent an appropriation from Congress, unquote. The order comes after Trump ended a 35-day government shutdown in February when Congress gave him $1.4 billion in wall funding, far less than he had sought. He subsequently declared a national emergency to get money from other government accounts to construct sections of the wall. Well, I agree with the Ninth Circuit on this one. He did an end run around the purse strings of Congress.
He did, absolutely.
And he won. And I don't think that's correct, but here we are. So what are you going to do, right?
I wonder what would happen if like the numbers started to show significant decreases in people trying to illegally cross the border. What the argument against that would be. Because they'd have to come up with something, right? Like if parts of the wall began to become constructed and got built up or whatever, and for whatever reason after that, the numbers for people attempting illegal entry or whatever decreased, what would they do to say that is a bad thing? Like, what would be their argument for that? Like, this is horrible. Like, how? I wonder how they would approach that situation, because it's like illegal immigration is down, which means that less people are getting detained. So now it's your turn, liberals, to tell me why Trump is horrible for making this happen. And I'd love to see what that reasoning would be. That'd be interesting.
As far as immigration is concerned, I think our money and resources would be better spent trying to improve not only the processes by which people come in legally to become residents or citizens, but also enforcement of finding and disincentivizing people from staying here. The physical barrier is certainly part of the equation, sure, but it is not the end-all be-all, and the system itself needs an overhaul. I don't know how, I don't know in what ways specifically, but with all of the narrative fuel that we've seen in some of the stories that have come out over the last several weeks that are sort of half on point, and you read deeper in the article and you find out that there are other situations. For each one of those, there's at least a whole slew of others that are actual, like, Kafka-esque labyrinths of bureaucracy and nonsense that don't actually make any sense. And like I said, I've seen that with my coworkers and other people when they weren't doing anything illegal at all, but just trying to follow the rules. And you get lost in so much nonsense and crossed wires and things. So anyway, yeah, so Trump won this one. I don't think he should have, but there you go, I guess. So anyway, that's all the stories I had. So I guess we'll move on to MSS News. Oh, and Jordan has posted a lovely picture of Satsu as Vanna White.
Oh no!
Oh, it's beautiful. I should keep in mind that exists, so that if I start using OBS and I can put up like different graphics during the show, I can put that up when it's your turn to be Vanna White. But anyway, guys, if you have news stories you'd like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSSNews. Can't promise we'll get to them all, but that's only because it's really hot here and my hydration has become a challenge today. So let's see. Search. Oh, I forgot. See, I reflexively go to the search filters to turn them off or whatever, but they're already off. The one thing Twitter has done that was right in the last several days is just make those locked. I appreciate that. This one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. Okay. FBI finds bodies sewn together like Frankenstein in human chop shop.
Oh, Squishy was telling me about this earlier.
What the actual fucking moo? Buckets of body parts, a cooler filled with male genitalia, and a woman's head sewn onto a male torso, quote, like Frankenstein, unquote, were found by FBI agents during a raid on an Arizona body donation center, a new lawsuit reveals. The stomach-churning scene was discovered by FBI agents at the now-shuttered Biological Resource Center in 2014 as part of a multi-state investigation into the illegal trafficking and sale of human body parts. Okay, this was 5 years ago? Details of the grim find were revealed in a lawsuit filed against the center this week by 33 plaintiffs whose loved ones' bodies were donated to the facility under the guise they would be used for scientific purposes.
Yikes.
In his declaration in the civil suit, former FBI Special Agent Mark Swiner, described the, quote, various unsettling scenes, unquote, that awaited cops, including, quote, a bucket of heads, arms, and legs, and a cooler filled with male genitalia. Agents also found infected heads, a small woman's head sewn onto a large male torso, and hanging on a wall like Frankenstein, and body parts stacked on top of one another with no identification tags. Biological Resource Center specialized in the free pickup of deceased loved ones for families in exchange for their bodies to be used for scientific research. Instead, the company sold body parts to various middlemen for profit. What kind of profit? A 2013 price list included in the civil court filing indicates a whole boy, I think they might mean body, but they use the word boy, a whole boy with no shoulders or head could be purchased for $2,900, while a whole spine retailed for $950. Monkey, we found your replacement.
Yay, what?
Thank you, Snubbearth. It's alive! Monkey, get the rocket launcher.
This is sad.
Who did they arrest in this thing? Let's see.
The answer should be everyone.
Well, here's the fun part. They never mention the name of the person that they arrested, but in the very next sentence, they talk about someone who pleaded guilty. And can you guess what this person's last name is, though they never give us the first name?
Let's hear it.
No.
Gore.
It
It just says in 2015. Again, unless I'm missing something, they never mention who it is that's being prosecuted here. They mention the name of the FBI agent. Anyway, in 2015, Gore, first name unknown here, I guess, tearfully pleaded guilty to conducting an illegal business after accusations he used body parts in ways that donors had not permitted. He was sentenced to 1 year of deferred jail time, 4 years probation, and was ordered to pay $121,000 in restitution.
Excuse me. Wow.
So yeah, okay. Well, how can we top that story?
You don't.
All right, this one comes from Frosted Glass. Customs Border Patrol is separating families on the basis of HIV status, even though it's against the law. Okay. U.S. Customs and Border Protection Chief of Law Enforcement Brian Hastings admitted to Congress Thursday that a parent's HIV-positive status is grounds for separation. Quote, if a mother or father has a HIV-positive status, is that enough to justify separation from their child? Representative Jamie Raskin asked Hastings at a House Judiciary Committee hearing on family separation. Quote, it is. It's a communicable disease under the guidance, Hastings said. Raskin then asked Hastings to clarify what he meant by communicable, explaining that HIV is not spread through, quote, ordinary contact. Excuse me. Quote, that's the guidance that we follow, Hastings responded. The exchange shocked immigration and LGBTQ experts alike.
Wait.
Because only LGBTQ people get HIV? What?
I guess that's their thing, I guess.
Okay, let me start over. The exchange shocked immigration and LGBTQ experts alike, given Hastings' gross misunderstanding of health policy. Okay, nearly a decade ago, the Department of Health and Human Services removed HIV from its list of communicable diseases that would prevent an immigrant from gaining entry into the United States. Contrary to what Hastings testified, HIV is not transmitted by casual contact. What has that got to do with LGBTQ?
Apparently, they own AIDS, and they get upset if something bad happens.
I mean, if it said the exchange shocked immigration and AIDS activists alike, or AIDS experts alike, I wouldn't have even hesitated. But LGBTQ experts alike, I mean, can you be an expert on LGBTQ and be straight?
No.
I don't understand what that has to do with anything. But anyway, okay, so CBP has separated HIV-positive parents from children, and their justification is communicable when it's not, and it's been decided that it's not. So, yeah, okay. Well,
somebody needs to change their guidelines to get with the times.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, unless they have some other justification for it, but. Prosperous says, Scribe, what about breastfeeding mothers? I don't know. I am not an HIV/AIDS expert, so I don't know on that one.
An LGBT expert, huh? That's interesting.
That's what it said. LGBTQ expert, along with immigration experts. Anyway. This one comes from Becca Furley? Not quite sure how to say it. Maybe I said it right one way or the other. And I thank Becca again for sending out some a redhead picture on Monkey in the Morning or Monkey in the Late Afternoon, whatever it was today. Let's see. Twitter moments. The Avengers versus Avatar race heats up with the announcement that Endgame is getting re-released with new... Oh, that's from June 19th. We already knew that. Okay. Yeah, that is an old story. And actually, Avengers Endgame has now exceeded the box office of Avatar. So, yay.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, 2 movies owned by the same company now beat each other out for profit. Yay.
Mm-hmm.
I like beating people for profit.
Oh, I don't even need to get paid. Oh, moving on. That's an ad.
Don't work for free, Scribe.
Oh, I get compensated. Don't worry.
Just not paid.
Okay, here's another one from Becca. I think this is more recent. Okay, let's see. The 1972 Nike Waffle Racing Flat Moon Shoe, the last remaining pair in Sotheby's Stadium Goods, the Ultimate Sneaker Collection, achieved $437,000 earlier today. Someone paid almost $500,000 for a pair of old sneakers.
Yep.
Yay!
Yay, capitalism.
Or just a fool and his money. Let's see. Earlier today, and this was on the 23rd, a pair of 1972 Nike Waffle Racing Flat Moon shoes achieved an astounding $437,500 $437,500, far surpassing the previous world auction record for a pair of sneakers. Okay. The shoes sold to collector Miles Nadal following his purchase of the auction's other 99 lots last week in a private sale. An avid collector, you're not kidding me, Mr. Nadal plans to display the sneakers alongside his collection of classic cars at his private museum in Toronto, Canada. Mr. Nadal, you got any spare change in your wallet you can just throw my way? You wouldn't miss it. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. The Nike Moon shoe is one of the most significant artifacts in Nike's long history. Nike co-founder and renowned Oregon University track coach Bill Bowerman designed the shoe for runners at the 1972 Olympic trials. Only about 12 pairs were created. Even fewer exist today. And the present lot is the only known pair to exist in unworn condition. If that's unworn condition, damn, I'd hate to see a beat up pair. Looks like somebody peed on those things several times. Anyway, there you go. $500,000 for a pair of stinky old sneakers. Yay. Okay, this one comes from Massive Dynamics. Florida man dubbed the Diaper Bandit. Do I really want to know? Arrested after repeatedly trying to steal, can you guess?
People.
Diapers from local stores.
So close.
I know. Thank you, Non-Vitae Rex. It's speculated Andrew Weissman wrote the report, not Mueller. Try to keep up, Scribe. You know, I could be easily convinced that Robert Mueller was nothing more than a figurehead for the report, given his performance at the hearing.
Well, I think it's almost it's certain, isn't it? I mean,
either that, or if people are speculating that he kept asking for questions again and being all slow on purpose to try to avoid and speed up things and not have to answer as many questions. So either he's senile or he's, I don't know, just this side of committing perjury or contempt of court or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. So either way. Let's see. A man accused of repeatedly stealing diapers from stores across Florida for several years, I think the guy's got a problem, has been arrested again. Vincent Perozzi, 27, also known as the Diaper Bandit. You know, this guy's going to get so much shit when he goes back to jail. Did you get that?
I see what you did there.
You see what I did there? Was arrested by West Palm Beach Police Department after allegedly stealing the items. The Diaper Bandit was captured again, but this time he faces a possession of heroin charge in addition to shoplifting charges. Yep, you guessed it, diapers, the department wrote on social media. No other details, including which store Perozzi was accused of stealing from, were released by police. As reported by the Palm Beach Post, this was Perozzi's 20th arrest. A majority of them for being for theft.
The hell's wrong with this guy?
Does he sell them? What does he do with them? Does he have a diaper fence or something?
I know diapers are expensive, but don't go to prison for it. Fuck.
Maybe he watched too many episodes of Supermarket Sweep. Because, you know, those diapers run a high price when you hear the beep on Supermarket Sweep. Anyway, let's see. We talked about the border wall. We talked about that guy a couple weeks ago. Okay, this one comes from Cynical Lindsay. Saw this earlier today somewhere, I think. Yeah. Raw zombie chicken crawls from plate at restaurant.
What?
Now, I'm still not convinced this isn't somehow faked, but I will read the story regardless. And this is posted on the ABC news site, so this isn't like the Weekly World News or something, just for reference. Not that that necessarily makes it legit, just saying it's technically a more legitimate news source. Restaurant goers were in for a shock when a piece of raw chicken moved from their plate at a restaurant. In the video, diners can be heard screaming as the chicken carcass begins to twitch. The chicken then inches off the plate onto the wooden table before flopping to the floor out of frame. The video was posted to Facebook about 2 weeks ago, but was not clear where this video was taken. It seems to be at a restaurant where diners could cook food at their table. Chickens have been known to survive some time after they have been killed. In 1945, a chicken was beheaded by a farmer named Lloyd Olson and survived for nearly 2 years, according to History.com. I choose to disbelieve.
Yeah, me too.
It is not unusual. It's not unusual. It's not unusual for some animals to have cadaveric spasms through rigor mortis or stiffening of the muscles after death. Sure. But being alive for 2 more years and moving off of a plate, 2 different things.
That didn't look like chicken to me. It looked like a frog leg, but...
Yeah, I don't know what the heck that was, but unless they can identify the source, I'm still a little skeptical of what was going on there. So,
I'm a lot skeptical of what was going on there.
yeah. So mark this one up as the not convinced category. Moving on, we'll do a couple more here. No, let's see. We talked about the don't put popsicles in your vajayjay story yesterday. This one comes from another monotreme or Platt's lair, depending. Michigan becomes gator country. Man shoots alligator that lunged at him in Tuscola County. Is that how you say it?
Never heard of it.
Tuscola, Tuscola, I think. Let's bring it up here. Out collecting minnows one recent morning. I am blocked from reading this article because I don't have a subscription. Okay, well, let me look past the blockage here so I can read what I can see. A 59-year-old man called authorities at about 11:45 a.m. on Saturday, July 20th, to report the incident, which I can't read because the ad is covering it up. Let's see. He told them he'd been in a ditch gathering minnows for fishing bait. He heard a curious sound, only for the alligator to lunge at him a moment later. The man drew his pistol and shot the animal once, killing it. Deputies could see the dead alligator had slid down a bank towards the water. They recovered the carcass, which was between 5 and 6 feet long and weighed about 50 to 60 pounds.
How the hell does an alligator live up here?
I don't know. Global warming. Global warming.
In frozen water?
Ice skaters.
I
You
guess.
got that? You like that? Ice skaters?
I see what you did.
I'm
I'm
clever.
gonna have to take Scribe's puns away from him soon.
Actually, I came up with a medical term for that because there's a let's see there's actually a scientific term for making puns. I forget what it's. I'll find it, but so it's called paronomasia. So it's the formal name given to the kind of wordplay commonly known as a pun. So I called it OPD, obsessive paronomasia disorder.
Obsessive pun disorder?
Essentially, yes. But it's got the fancy word in the middle, so it can be like a Wile E. Coyote cartoon, you know?
I don't do fancy words, Scribe.
Yeah, I've come to understand this, much to my disappointment. Let's see. And okay, we'll do this one as the last one because we didn't get to it yesterday. This one comes from Signal Boost. It's just a top 10 list. Well, can you imagine the worst countries to be a woman?
I know I saw that, and America was 10 for.
Yes, America's 10. Can you guess, if you don't already remember, the number one country where it's the worst to be a woman?
I don't remember what number one was.
That's good. You can guess them.
China.
I don't know. Iran.
Actually, neither China or Iran appear on the list of the top 10.
How the fuck?
The top country, or I should say the worst country to be a woman, according to the study, is India. And that is above Afghanistan, Syria, Somalia, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, the Congo, Yemen, and Nigeria. It's worse to be a woman in India than Pakistan or Afghanistan. That's something else.
Do they give reasons?
Yes, there's a whole story behind this. I'm sure I could read the whole thing. It's from The Big Think.
I'm just wondering how, because I'm not saying India is great. I'm not. But yeah, Saudi Arabia and Iran exist. So how the fuck did that happen?
Let's see. So they measured it in these areas: healthcare, economic resources, cultural or traditional practices, sexual violence and harassment, non-sexual violence, and human trafficking. And apparently India marked up the highest on all of those.
So we're just ignoring Iran because they're like, nah, man, nothing bad happens here.
Well, it could be the case they don't have any numbers for Iran because Iran doesn't report shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for all the stories. Do appreciate that. I got most of the stuff from people, so I think we did all right. But we're going to move on to YouTube time. I have a brief story. It's not so much about content I made, but content that I defended today. As veteran viewers may know, I had recent troubles with copyright claims on music used in my videos that I had acquired from a copyright-free / royalty-free YouTube website, or YouTube channel, I should say, which is the YouTube audio library. This is the YouTube channel that YouTube itself points creators to find music for their videos that is both copyright and royalty-free. Early on in my YouTube career, I got 2 songs that I've used with some frequency, one more than the other. The first one is called Husky by Joey Pecoraro, and that is the song that is both the intro and outro music to nearly all of my videos. The other one, which I only use once in a while as sort of montage music, is called Let the Show Begin by a group called Hook Sounds. Well, I got copyright claims on both of those songs from 2 different entities recently, and I was able to clear up the theme song one by going directly to the artist and his management company, who were very, very kind and quick to respond and to resolve the situation, which I really appreciate. But then I was also grabbed by a third-party intermediary called Hawk for the montage music. And when I contacted Audio Library about this, they said that they had put a notice up on their channel, which if they hadn't told me it was there, I never would have known, that within recent months, Hook Sounds and Hawk had decided to retroactively copyright songs they had originally posted on their site as free. Now, of course, in my mind, this is like, well, crap. That means that any song on Audio Library could conceivably become a landmine or a time bomb for anybody's video, because if it's copyright free today, but they decide to claim it a year from now, you never know when you're setting up one of your videos to be owned by someone else. Now, initially I tried to contact Hook Sounds through Twitter, but they never responded. But today, after my 3rd copyright claim on that same song in 3 different videos over the last 2.5 months, I just made a tweet and I said, hey, everybody, the song blah from Hook Sounds via Hawk, I've got my latest claim on it. I would advise nobody use any of their music, period. And I tagged Audio Library as well. And within, 30 minutes, an hour, I got a tweet back from Hook Sound saying, send us an email. I was like, okay. And I did. And before the day was out, all my copyright claims were gone. So, nice. As irritated as I have been with the, sort of silent entities that have been in charge of that stuff since the middle of May, since I got my first claim on those things. I do want to extend my appreciation to Hook Sounds and whoever was there that answered my tweet, answered my email, and got everything cleared up. And I know who to contact if it happens again. But it felt really good. It was one of those days, like just with the other song situation. I've been told several times in my life you can't fight City Hall and win, and it's true. You can't always fight City Hall and win, but then if I had nothing to lose by trying, hey, worked out. So that was good. So that was my YouTube adventure today. Other than that, I didn't really do anything YouTube worthy, save for showing up on Monkey's show to talk briefly about comic books and memories thereof and gripes and such. And other than that, yeah, I guess that's all my stuff. So, Satsu?
I did a video today. Well, I uploaded a video today on the Marvel stuff that I was talking to you guys about, just giving my general thoughts on this next generation of Marvel movies and my attitude towards them. So if you guys want to hear my full thoughts on that, because I said some of them over here in some of the conversations that we had, but I gave my full thoughts over there. Although one of the points I wanted to kind of highlight is the fact that I want to specify that it's the marketing specifically that I think is not for us. I know I did say in the video that the movies themselves aren't for us, but like coming to the realization that most of the stuff you see on the marketing, even though they highlight that as like the most important thing in these movies or whatever, when they're bringing it out, like this person's a woman and that's why this movie's great or whatever. 9 times out of 10, like I said before, when the movie comes out, that aspect that they highlighted and made like the fucking pinnacle of the movie and the only reason to go see it, it's like a super minor irrelevant thing in the movie usually. So at the end of the day, it's just like, just ignore the fucking advertising material and shit because it's not for us. They're not fucking moving it towards us. They're trying to bring on a completely different audience right now, and that's fine. And if you want to go see the movie, just go fucking see it. Like, don't bother with the trailers because they're not going to be for you. And don't really expect the movie because I think they're just playing these people, to be honest. Like, that's my personal opinion. Like, these fucking bigwigs are just like, these fucking idiots latch on to everything that we do. And as long as we say that we're pandering to them and we got, like, look guys, look, a Negro just like you, come and see our movie, then they'll watch anything we put out. And that's what I think the general mindset is. Like, I don't think they actually give a fuck about diversity. I don't think they actually care about any of that shit. They're just like, this is what the fucking sheep want. So give the sheep what they want. So that way they can shut the fuck up and we can keep making money. So that's what they're doing. And with that mindset, it's just like, go see the movie. If you want to go see it, go see it. Just ignore the promotional shit because it's not for you. But yeah, go check it out. Go check out the video. You'll get my full thoughts there. I got another video coming out tomorrow for the cooking channel, and we got a stream tonight. We're going to be playing No Man's Sky, and get used to kind of these streams being a little longer than the norm because it's just that kind of game. So as opposed to our regular 2-hour stream, we'd probably be going 3 to 4, more likely than not. So come and hang out.
All right, Monkey.
Well, I missed doing a Monkey in the Morning last night or early this morning. I was in horrible pain, and I woke up this afternoon, and several people said some very kind things about missing the show and stuff. So I was like, fuck it, let's do a show. So I did that, and you were there, and Jack Cochran was there, and P-Dog showed up. It was fun. It was just a good, fun chat. We discussed Polly's epic rant from Comic Book Curation last night. And if you guys haven't seen that, check it out. It was fucking amazing. The story that we touched on briefly here yesterday about how the one chick said, now that Thor is going to be a woman, let's take everything from the white men.
Yeah.
That was the that was the story that set him off, and it was amazing. So give that a watch too.
Real quick, thank you, the captain's dogs. Monkey doesn't do hard words, as evidenced on Monkey in the Afternoon. Squirrel, isthmus, anemone, rhododendron, otohynologist, Worcestershire. Okay.
I did Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
Was she sure?
Worcestershire. Worcestershire.
Nice.
All right. Well, on to the wonderful fucketry time. I've got one that got a whole lot of retweets and likes and all kind of crazy stuff today. So there was this little story that came out. Let me find it here. It's from the Mirror UK. Woman plans to marry her dog after giving up on men following 220 failed dates. And I had 85 likes and 12 retweets and 9 comments. And I said, 220 failures? Golly, there must be some common denominator that might explain. Oh. Yeah. I don't know if that story is true because obviously it's the Mirror, but all the same, it's kind of funny. And the other one, so our favorite friend at CNN, tweeted this today. It's a quote. It says, quote, "Mr. President, I'm just going to open it up to you to go wherever you want with this," unquote. Newsman Sean Hannity. That was Chris Cillizza saying that. And I tweeted back to Chris a screenshot of a headline of his from January of this year. "This may be the smoking gun in the Russia investigation." And I said, well, now, he's a journalist, not an investigator. Right, Chris? Oh, man, Chris the lizard. And aside from that, there was, we talked about the impeachment thing. I talked about the Bitcoin thing. I think, oh, yeah. So apparently Wolfenstein this is somebody named Walt. Apparently Wolfenstein Youngblood has pacing issues because you have to grind side missions for levels to be able to progress the main story. There's also a microtransaction system for gear/consumables, so you can skip the grind. Why does this keep happening? And I said, because I was curious about this myself, when I saw it on Steam, I was like, yeah, I thought $30 was a bit too low of a price for a game like that. Because it's like a sequel to a big franchise. And I thought $30 awfully low. And I said, I figure they had to make it up somewhere else. I wonder how many people will be suckered in, because I sure as hell ain't buying that game. But other than that, I think that's all the big stuff. Also that this was a breaking news story earlier. Shortly after Jeffrey Epstein's arrest on July 6th, prosecutors in Manhattan issued federal grand jury subpoenas to 2 of his longtime pilots. And I was like, ruh-roh.
No wonder he got sad in jail.
Yeah, sad and tried to kill himself. Yeah. So I'm curious to see where that goes. But yeah, so that's my fuckatry for today. I almost said satchel. Why?
Is that all I am to you, Scribe? A satchel?
Yeah, you're just a bag to put things in.
That's strangely sexual. Anyway, fuckatry. So I'm pretty sure there was more than just this one, but this one is enough. So we'll talk about this one. You guys saw the video of the kids beating the shit out of that person in the was it parking garage or something?
You'll have to clarify that one.
Yeah, there was a viral video that's been going around today of a bunch of kids just beating the shit out of this dude in this parking garage, like stomping him the fuck out. Like he was completely unresponsive afterwards, and even while he was.
Wait, was that outside the Vegas casino? Because that's not a parking garage. I think that was like outside the entrance to a casino or something.
It looked. I don't know. I couldn't tell.
Okay. Anyway, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So apparently, from what this person I was talking to on Twitter said, this happened right outside his job.
Oh.
Where he was working, and he said that allegedly the person said something sexually out of place to one of the girls in the group. So when they were following him, like, I guess one of the dudes had asked, like, is this the person or whatever? And then they just started beating the shit out of this dude.
And that's totally justified, I'm sure.
Well, to him, yes, it is 100% justified. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to explain to him, because I'm like, regardless of if this dude did something untoward or whatever, if he was out of line and you felt that he got what was coming to him, you felt that vigilante justice was due. They need to fucking face the music too. Cause I'm because if you go to the video and you look at the comments, there's a lot of stuff in there talking about, he probably deserved it. What did he do to piss those kids off and all that shit? I'm like, okay, that's all well and good. If the dude said something to them and they kicked his ass, cause and effect, it was still illegal. And if they felt that he needed to face the music for some shit that he did, then they do too. So find these fucking kids and give them whatever it is they're going to get for this shit. And the dude got upset with me on that base. The fact that I said, okay, dude got his ass kicked for saying whatever the fuck he said. So find those kids and let them get theirs. And he was like, basically, how could you say that? are you defending him saying, doing what he did? And I'm like, no, I'm not defending anything that he did. And I'm not saying definitively that he didn't deserve it, because I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. But even if he did, y'all don't have the right to execute that justice. Like, that's not your job to do. And you literally are on camera beating the shit out of this dude. That's all we see. So I'm like, even if you felt you were in the right, the video shows a bunch of black kids beating the fuck out of this person. That's it. And that's what the media's running with. That's what everybody's running with. Of course, the details are going to come out later, but y'all still committed a crime. And this dude is like, he was just like avidly defending them, like, And then halfway through the conversation, because this was another black dude that I was talking to, halfway through the conversation, he decided to say, I just don't understand your lack of empathy for your own people and the situation that was going on. And he said, I'm not going to judge them after seeing a 30-second clip of a situation. God will deal with them if need be.
But you're judging the guy you didn't even hear what he said.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you said it happened outside your job, but you ain't saying nothing about the fact that you heard it. You just said that it happened nearby where you worked. So after he said that, because he said your lack of empathy and understanding towards your own, I said, okay, a few things. My own consists of my friends and family, and that's it. And no judgment. There's no judgment to make about watching people beat the shit out of a single person, because that is exactly what happened on the video. And I'm like, you can say they had a reason. Okay, cool. Assault is still a crime, and God ain't gonna enforce it. So I don't understand what it is that he was trying to say. And his response to that was spoken like a true house nigga.
Oh, shit.
Of course.
Wow. Classy.
And I'm just like, oh, okay. I see they trained you well. So oddly enough, from that point, after I told him, because my response to that was, this is why people think we ain't shit, because most of y'all ain't. And he said, call me what you want. But he was like, I know that some house nigga shit to say, and that's all I need to say about that. So I'm like, okay. So we actually moved on and had a pretty productive conversation after that, because I'm just like, all right, I see where you're going. And I was asking him, because I genuinely wanted to know, because he was talking about leadership and, his mama, his family raised him to defend and protect. And if anybody disrespect his family or do anything in any way, he will dish out the justice no matter what. And that's all there is to it. If ands or buts, he gonna find you and he gonna fuck you up. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. But based on what you said, as far as community, black people sticking together and finding ways to better their life, which is the bullshit you just spouted, how exactly is going to jail after beating this dude's ass when you could have just reported him? How exactly does that make your life better? Or make these kids' lives better? And he was like, well, they're just kids. You can't expect them to be that mature. And I'm like, these are the same apologetics that keep y'all doing the same shit that y'all been doing all this time. This is why you don't change. This is why nigga mentality is so fucking ingrained in the community, because y'all always got a reason. You always have a fucking excuse on why you get to be a piece of shit while arguing against injustice. Always. But like I said, the conversation didn't particularly end bad. We agreed to disagree. And I just told him, like, look, dude, enjoy your fucking day. Like, I'm basically done with the conversation, because he was spouting the same bullshit. And it was pissing me off. But one of the comments that really killed me, though, is he had said, first off, the dude didn't get off easy, because I was like, what if his sentence get lessened because he got his ass kicked or whatever? And he was like, well, he didn't get off easy. He got his ass whooped. And hold on, damn, where's the fucking, god damn it. I was just looking at it and fucking Twitter just freaked out on me. Oh, he said, I'm not going to judge these people for doing something that they felt was just at the time. And I'm like, is that your metric? You just need to feel it's just, and you should be able to get away with it. I don't know. anyway, like you guys should see the conversation. I'll actually I'll grab the fucking beginning of the conversation and copy it so I can paste it for you guys to see it if you want to. But yeah, he was spouting some bullshit. But yeah, don't go in and fucking, because I notice a lot of people, whenever I have conversations with people and I tell people about it, I go in and I look in and it's a whole bunch of people like, fuck you, dude. And I'm like, no, you ain't got to do all that. Just if you disagree with them, then feel free to state your opinion. But, you know. But yeah, I'm going to copy that and paste it right now. But that's my fucketry.
All right, Monkey.
I wasn't online today, dude.
Okay.
So my fucketry is what you guys are talking about. I'm stealing y'all's fucketry.
Mm.
That's my fucketry for the day. Yeah, sorry
right.
guys. I was not feeling. I didn't do anything.
That's okay. Well then, in the absence of anything else, I guess I can I don't know, do some Mad Libs.
Sounds like a plan.
Chat, you want me to do some Mad Libs? Or are you getting sick of that stuff? I don't know. I don't really ask anymore. I just kind of like say it. Ebony says yes. Now, if only Ebony says yes, then I guess we'll do it. Let's see. So, what do I want to do today? Okay, let's try this one. All right, so chat, here's what I need from you. I need 2 different plural nouns and a number. I wish I had something more exciting, but so be sure to put into chat as individual suggestions 2 different separate plural nouns and a number. And we'll get to you presently. Satsu, I need an adjective.
Juicy.
All right. Monkey, I need a past tense verb.
Shat.
Okay. Satsu, I also need a past tense verb.
Shart.
Okay. Monkey, I need another past tense verb.
Aborted.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Satsu, I need a verb ending with ing.
Vomiting.
Good God. That's the most disgusting one so far. Monkey, I need a plural noun.
Placentas.
All right. Satsu, I need an adjective.
Slimy.
Monkey, I need another past tense verb.
I'm trying to give you a good one. Give me a second here. Shit. Sneezed. I dropped the ball there.
Satsu, this is lots of verbs. I need another verb ending with ing.
Pissing.
All right. Monkey, I need a plural noun.
Pedophiles.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Satsu, I need another adjective.
Hold on. Clammy.
Okay. Monkey, I need a plural animal.
Donkeys.
Donkeys. All right. Satsu, I need a present tense verb.
How about dropkick?
Okay. Monkey, I need a singular noun. So just your Make sure it's a singular, whatever it is.
Whore.
And Satsu, I need a plural noun.
Thoughts.
As in the webcam girl types?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, chat. Your time. I need a plural noun. Joe W. says strap-ons. Sure. Strap-ons. I need a number. So who's got a number? Rebecca Fairley, 240. Sure, why not? And another plural noun. Who shall I do this? Let's see. Ryan Walters, diapers. Call back. All right. Here we go. This one is called Today's Horoscopes. Aries, Ram, March 21st to April 19th. Someone you know may be feeling juicy. Stay out of the way.
Oh.
Taurus, Bull, April 20th to May 20th. Don't chat in public. It could prove embarrassing.
Indeed. That's good advice for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Gemini, Twins, May 21st through June 20th. Control the urge to shart. Abort instead.
That ain't right. That ain't right at all.
Cancer, Crab, June 21st to July 22nd. Vomiting too many placentas will leave you exhausted.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's not right.
Leo, Lion, July 23rd to August 22nd. A loved one thinks you are slimy. Do not be taken in by flattery.
Especially that kind.
Virgo, Virgin, August 23rd to September 22nd. Sneezed in private when possible. It's difficult to concentrate when people are watching. Okay.
That.
Oh, God. Here we go. Libra, Scales, September 23rd to October 22nd. Avoid pissing pedophiles.
Oh.
Again, just good advice.
Stay away from R. Kelly, guys.
Oh! Scorpio, Scorpion, October 23rd to November 21st. Never loan money to clammy donkeys. They are poor credit risks.
I can relate.
Sagittarius, Archer, November 22nd to December 21st. Today is a good day to drop kick a whore.
Oh, what just happened there?
Here come the cops again. All right.
Today's a good day to drop kick a whore. That just sounds like a great t-shirt.
Capricorn, Goat, December 22nd to January 19th. You may receive some thoughts from a secret admirer. Water them every day, and they will last a long time.
Yeah, they need water.
Aquarius, Water Bearer, January 20th to February 18th. Unless you organize your strap-ons better, you won't get anything done.
Yeah, that's true.
And lastly, Pisces, Fish, February 19th to March 20th. A good friend will give you $240 to buy new diapers. Be sure to thank your friend.
That's just being kind. That's good manners.
Yes. Today is a good day to drop kick a whore.
That may be my favorite thing that's ever been said on the show ever.
Really?
It's a good day to drop kick a whore.
Today's a pretty good day to drop kick a whore.
All right, I will keep that aside. Shall we do another?
Let's go.
All right, I don't know what this one will be, but all right. So, chat, what I need from you. Sorry, I wish they were more interesting. Actually, you know what? I will do. I'll give you guys the first three rather than the last three this time, and we'll come back. So what I need from you, chat, is a watercraft of some kind, a plural noun, and a last name. Watercraft, plural noun, and a last name.
So, you got a super chat.
Oh, thank you, Snubbert. Scribe, this blatant sexism, you should probably avoid parking lots for a while. I'm confused. Drop kicking whores? What?
That's right.
Okay.
What their man was.
So, Satsu, I need a plural noun.
How about fleshlights?
Monkey, I need a plural noun.
Oh, lepers.
Okay. Satsu, I need an adjective.
Filthy.
Okay. Monkey, I need a singular noun.
Burn victim.
Oh shit.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Okay.
Satsu, I need a past tense verb.
How about drop kick the whore? Drop kick.
Drop kicked. Okay, I will do drop kicked.
A whore.
Monkey, I need an adjective.
Oh, stanky.
Stanky.
Satsu, I need a favorite song.
Jesus Christ.
Superstar? Okay.
I don't fucking know.
What's your Beatles song again?
Oh, Maxwell Silverhammer.
Okay, Maxwell Silverhammer. All right. Monkey, a female friend.
Nuts.
Stargaze knits. Satsu, I need a male friend.
Monkey.
Ranting monkey. Monkey, I need an adjective.
Infected.
Okay. Satsu, I need a singular noun.
Singular noun. A Burger King taco.
Jesus, all right. King taco. Okay. Monkey, I need a famous person.
Hitler.
Oh, God. Satsu, I need a noun. Just a person, place, or thing.
2x4.
A 2x4. Okay. Monkey, I need a large number.
2.
I will put that for the next one down, which is just a number. Satsu, I need a large number.
I wanted 2.
An extremely large 2.
An extremely large 2. Okay. And monkey, finally, I need a singular noun.
Herpy.
Herpy.
Just one?
Just
one singular herpy.
All right. Chat, I need a watercraft. Shrouded Angel says zombie raft. I like that. Okay. Zombie raft. Okay. Next, I need a plural noun. Who will give me the plural noun? Dom O'Leary, electric butt plugs. All right.
Wow.
Electric?
Sure. Why not? I don't know. And lastly, I need a last name. What's a good last name? No, that's a. Nope, everybody's already moved on. Okay, let me scroll up here. Last name. Last name Gunsky, says check your logic. All right. Sounds good. Gunsky. All right. So we will continue, and this will be before we get on to chat time. This is called Survival! Exclamation point. The zombie raft Lucky Lulu was sinking quickly. Abandoned ship! Everyone into the electric butt plugs! Hollered Captain Gunsky. But the crew and passengers knew there were not enough electric butt plugs, so they threw fleshlights, lepers, and even one filthy burn victim overboard.
Holy shit!
Wow.
And then my phone beeps at me. Sorry.
This is not okay.
That's not a good sign.
Holy shit.
Okay. Then everyone drop kicked into the stanky water and grabbed onto whatever they could. Captain Gunsky ordered everyone to form a line, tie their crafts together, and sing Maxwell's Silverhammer. First in line were Stargaze Nuts and Ranting Monkey, bobbing in their infected Burger King taco.
You and me, Nuts. You and me.
Next came Hitler, hanging on for dear life to a slimy 2x4. They were followed by an extremely large 2 others.
2 fat motherfuckers.
After 2 days, they were rescued by a strange herpy. Not one passenger from the Lucky Lulu has taken a boat ride again.
I
I
bet.
don't blame him.
That sounds like a wild ride.
Hitler was on that.
Wide.
The wild wide.
That's what they get for being on a boat with Hitler.
I'm on a boat and it's going fast and...
So the 2 very large fat people sunk the boat.
I suppose that is true. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your assistance in Mad Libs. Appreciate it. But now we move on to chat time. So chat, if you have questions, comments, concerns, complaints, conspiracy theories, if there is a particular item that you like to shoplift from stores, let us know and we'll call the police. Put them in the chat now. If you have questions for us, please put plenty of chat marks after those. If you have statements you'd like us to consider, please put plenty of statement marks after those. And remember, after this stream over on 2 Cents Plus, Satsu and Monkey will be lording it over space in No Man's Sky. And there will be a game giveaway of some kind. Have you guys decided yet?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, it'll be a surprise.
We've been letting people pick. I don't know if there's enough to do that this time. We'll see.
Tailed feature, check your DMs, dude. If you're awake, you were awake when the show started. You could have been here the whole time. So that sleep thing, I guess you need. Let's see. Tag Alpaca.
Whores.
Do you like hard cider? Sometimes. You guys like hard cider?
Not really. I don't hate it, but yes, not my favorite.
Let's see. Sinatra says, "Is there no more 7 days to die?"
We're on a break.
All right. Kathy Collins, what is your favorite dessert recipe? Desert recipe? My favorite desert recipe is sand dollars.
Okay, I'm back.
If you meant dessert, you missed an S there. Thank you, Bear Koch. You should watch Owen Benjamin Bet to Love a Woman. I don't know what any of that means, but
I think my mouse just died.
Did you hit it with a broom by any chance?
Nah, sadly.
No. Non-Vitae Rex, what is the best anime/manga film adaptation?
Enter the Dragon.
Fist of the North Star.
The first two Death Note movies before the shitty Netflix one.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
those were actually fucking good. Both of those movies were super good.
Let's see. RJ Bandsma, Scribe Light, would you go after me if I was a redhead despite being a trans woman? If so, don't chase me because I have pepper spray. Would I?
Is this a relation to the elevator thing? Because
I don't know.
That creepo person got they were in an elevator. Their mom was like pushing them in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And they were like, somebody had I guess he introduced themselves or something like that. And the person started freaking the fuck out and told them to get the fuck out of it. This is a private space. He's like, this is a public elevator.
That was the ball chick.
Yeah. Ball sack chick.
Yeah, he started claiming that the elevator was private space, private property, or something like that, where nobody else could get on.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a great video of it.
Duck Dog says, Scribe Light, you mean sandwiches? Yes, that too. Mr. Monopoly of Gulf City, Scribe Light, what is your favorite death metal band? My favorite death metal band. I don't know that I have a favorite death metal band. So I guess the answer is I don't have one. Let's see. Geode's Game, Scribe Light, would you tell Monkey for me that he's a ding-dong? He told us if we were lurking to say hi and something like he's a ding-dong. Monkey, you're a ding-dong.
Yeah, you ding dong.
Sorry about that.
He wasn't even listening, was he?
Nope.
I had to grab batteries. This is driving me nuts.
You're a ding dong.
Okay.
Let's see. Bear Koch says comedian on Benjamin's stand-up bit to love a woman. Oh, okay. Thank you for the donation. Thank you also, Gulf City Cult of Krill. I'm late to the stream. Natalie Portman as Lady Thor is beyond stupid. Poe can't act. This is beyond dumb. I think most actors can act better than you give them credit for if they have good direction. We haven't seen Natalie Portman directed by, how do you say his name? Taika Waititi or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not impossible that he could get a good performance out of her. I just have very little faith because in every other situation, she's been basically a cardboard cutout. So on the acting side, we'll see. What's more important to me, I guess, is just the story that brings her to become Thor. Is it something that she's just literally handed, or is there some struggle she has to go through to get there?
Well, here's the bright side. If she does do horrible, her excuse can be, I was a cancer patient. What did you expect?
No. Let's see. Jack Gunsky says, Scribe Light, Lords of the Night, what is the best hostess cake? A redhead. Okay. RJ Banzo says, Scribe Light, aren't redhead women the best? Okay, being a redhead does not automatically make you the best. It certainly is something that I appreciate. There's a lot of other factors that actually go into it, but that's a good one.
Kathy Griffin's a redhead. Just throwing that
exactly. See, that's the thing. Redhead does not overcome other factors, but it is a plus. Let's see. Kathy Collins. Do any of you have any recommendations for funny stand-up comedians to listen to? George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Bill Hicks.
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr. That's a good one too.
It's not so much the comedians. I mean, two of the three Scribe named are good pretty much all the time. Bill Hicks, it depends on which one you catch. And that's the problem with most comedians. It's certain shows. Oh God. Yeah, it just depends on what kind of humor you're into also.
Old school Louis C.K. is also good.
Non-Vitae Rex in chat there said Brian Regan. I like Brian, but he can get annoying because he takes bits a little too far sometimes. It's like, all right, stop, move on.
I like Bo Burnham.
Burnham's good. Mm-hmm. I like Dave Attell too. Dave Attell's good. And if you listen to any of Gerardo's roasts, what's his first name? The guy who died. I suddenly forget his name. Greg Gerardo. Was it Greg Gerardo? Yeah. Greg Gerardo's Comedy Central roasts, his monologues are fucking gut busting. It's a shame he died. And if you ever want to see like one of the biggest like on air burns ever, look up Greg Girardo versus Dennis Leary. They were arguing about war and stuff, and Girardo just completely owns Leary, and it's awesome. And then chat jumped. Frosted Glass. When will people accept the red-headed Ubermensch? Probably never. I guess. Let's see. Pyrus Creed. With Hollywood increasingly desperate for material, how long until they start doing porn? Hollywood is full of porn. But yeah, I just saw the other day an ad on my Twitter feed for they've made a TV series or like a Netflix series or something out of 4 weddings and a funeral.
Sure, why not?
I mean, like, okay, so you take a, mildly entertaining romantic comedy movie from the 90s that few people really remember that much that weren't there. And now it's a TV series because this is originality. I'm actually less impressed when they take something like that and turn it into a TV series than if they took something that was actually, something that actually had a world building to it, except for Snowpiercer. Why the hell would they make a TV series out of Snowpiercer? If you watch the trailer for the series, it's the same chain of events as the movie. There's no, unless they decide to completely rewrite the underlying mystery of what's going on, all it's going to be is the movie chopped up into pieces and then padded out with filler and extra characters that don't matter. And here's a TV series. Like, seriously, come up with something new. It's like when they did an American remake of Insomnia, like a year or two after the original came out in Sweden or whatever. Like, dude, just release the original. The original was great. The remake stunk. Or let the right one in or anything like that. I never understand it. Lords of the Night have had a deep fried lemons, asked Mono Winter. I've never had a deep fried lemon. You guys?
No, why would you do that?
Yeah, I don't know why you do that.
No.
Let's see. Della Hayes, Scribe like Greg Giraldo. Was it Giraldo? Sorry, I mispronounced it. I apologize. Let's see. Sadistic Atheist says Jimmy Carr and Ricky Gervais. Jimmy Carr's good. Sometimes he's depends. I mean, like a small doses, sort of Jimmy Carr. Ricky Gervais is pretty good. Diesel Dave says Joe Rogan and Bert Kreischer. I don't know Bert Kreischer. Joe Rogan. Most of the stand-up's good. Some of it's kind of depends on the show. Yeah, Rogan's it depends on the show. Check your logic. Kathy Griffin isn't that bad looking. She didn't used to be that bad looking. If we're only going on looks, back in the day, she wasn't that bad looking. She's turned into Skeletor, Crypt Keeper territory.
She looks like a corpse right now.
Yeah, she has not aged well. Let's put it that way.
Whoever said that, go sit in the corner. You're wrong.
About what?
About her not looking bad.
In the olden days, she didn't look that bad.
In the olden days, yeah.
Depending on the angle. Yeah, now, no. Yeah. Thank you, Lion Patriot. Conspiracy. SDA's Bunny Buster does not exist. She makes noises during streams with her feet and claims Buster does it. Has anyone seen this bunny? I thought
I have
she
no idea
tweeted
what you're
out
talking about.
pictures. Well, SDA's got a bunny she calls Buster. I thought she tweeted pictures, but then again, it could have been somebody else's bunny. I don't know. Of course, the real question is then, Lion Patriot, what purpose does it serve to pretend that there's a bunny?
So she can get away with making noise.
No. Let's see. Devil Fruit Zero, Scribe Light. Would 8 out of 10 circuit court decisions being unconstitutionally decided surprise you guys? Unconstitutionally decided? Well, I mean, ultimately, the constitutionality will fall to the Supreme Court if there's a question. So I can imagine it's true, sure. Circuit Court? Yes, sure.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Let's see. Excuse me. Sean Uli says Bill Cosby's Noah bit was great. I don't remember the Noah bit, but I can believe it. Cosby whatever else he might be or have been revealed to be now, his comedy back in the day and still is not bad.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy Raw. It's a good one.
Oh, yeah, Raw's still good. Although would not be acceptable today by any stretch of the imagination if it were done today. Let's see. Check your logic. I did not expect Monkey to tell me to go sit in the corner. Ha ha ha. Throws magic dust on the ground and poofs myself into the corner.
That's what you get for saying she's not that bad.
What an obedient magician.
Let's see. Kathy Collins says, one pretends they have a bunny for a running theme. Personally, I would show it more often for those sweet views like Shoe-On Head does, but you do you, SDA. Yeah, is SDA trying to go after that the coveted Shoe-On Head dollar by having a bunny?
She going for that bun cash, son.
Let's see. Duck Dog. Oh, Duck Dog's talking to Tailed. Good. Jarl Falstaff, Scribe Light. What about that Mueller report? LOL, LOL. Yeah, what about it? We've had the release of it. We've had at least 2 or 3 dramatic readings of it by comedians and or actors, or the Congress itself, and then we had basically a piece by piece recitation in that hearing. So all in all, if you really want to know what's in the Mueller report, you've got 17 different audiobooks to listen to of it, and still nobody cares. Pyrus Creed. So when are you going to cross the streams with comic book curation? Oh Lord, I don't know. That'd be a big group. I mean, what, 6 of us, 7 of us?
6.
Yeah. Excuse me, guys. I think I might be running low on the voice here. Motto Winter, Lords of the Night. Have you read the official Meow Mix comic book? No.
I don't know.
I didn't know that cat food had its own comic book series. Of course, these days, I guess I shouldn't be surprised if the banana splits as a horror movie. Let's see. What else? No one, nowhere. Mitch Hedberg was a genius. I never found Mitch Hedberg that funny, honestly. I know a lot of people in my age group were just enthralled with that guy. Yeah, and I don't mean he wasn't funny to me like in an offensive way. It's just like I'd watch him be kind of like, So, yeah.
I've told this story before. Because I like Mitch. A lot of his stuff is very clever. But I got a CD of his, and there's 2 versions of it. There's the original version, and then there's the version with the laugh track.
Ah.
And in the original version, there's actually a point where he pulls a Jeb Bush. He actually says, "Please laugh. This is for an album." Like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know he passed away a long time ago, but I never quite his humor never landed with me for the most part. I mean, there might have been the one-liner here or there that kind of made me chuckle, but for the most part, I never really understood. It's like Monkey talking about Bill Hicks. It's like Monkey doesn't really like Bill Hicks or wasn't that impressed with him.
No, I love Bill Hicks. I just think there's a lot of his stuff where he just went into politics rather than actually making any jokes. That's all.
Sure. Yeah, no, he did go, especially like around Waco and stuff like that in Bush. Although some of the stuff on Bush could have been funny or was funny, but you kind of had to live in the times to get most of it.
His biggest problem was he kind of went a Lenny Bruce route there, especially near the end. No, but if you want to see somebody like Mitch Hedberg who's actually funny, watch Stephen Wright.
Oh, right. Yeah, now, you see, that's what I always thought. Mitch Hedberg was trying to do Stephen Wright and not quite hitting it.
Right.
Stephen Wright is great. Let's see. Jarl Falstaff. Have we ever seen Shakes the Clown? I have seen Shakes the Clown at least twice, but it was a long time ago.
One time, a long time ago, and I don't remember hating it, but I don't remember loving it either.
My favorite part was when the mimes are on the corner doing their mime thing, and they're trapped in boxes and stuff, and then this big red convertible comes around the corner with a screech, and it's full of clowns, and the mimes turn, and the clowns are looking at them. They go, "Mimes, get them!" And the mimes like go, "Clowns, shit, and then they start running. They start fighting each other like they're gangs. It's great. Ebony Williams, Scribe, like, can I have an internet fist bump? Is that an alcoholic beverage or some kind of sexual position?
Yes.
Okay. Or is that one of those like bro fist PewDiePie things?
I have no idea.
Well, Ebony, if you can imagine it, my fist is slowly approaching my microphone, and that's the best I can do. Motto Winter, Lords of the Night, would you try stuffed dormouse?
No.
No.
Well, that depends. Are we in a zombie apocalypse or just regular?
Yeah, I guess it depends. Beggars can't be choosers or something. Satsu, you going to put that on your menu for your next cooking vid?
Tell you what, in a zombie apocalypse, I might eat one of you.
I said, oh yeah, and that wasn't even. Damn it.
No one nowhere. Has anyone seen The Amazing Jonathan Doc? The Amazing Jonathan Doc? Is that his name? Or are you talking about like The Amazing Jonathan documentary? And if you mean the documentary, you have to tell me who Amazing Jonathan is.
You don't know? Oh, he's a comedian from, oh God, how long ago was he around? I know who the Amazing Jonathan is. Is he still relevant today? I can't remember seeing him for a while.
Sounds vaguely familiar, but nothing's popping into my head. Let's see. Sadistic Atheist, Scribe, are you for or against deleting all content that's now considered objectionable? Black and white minstrel movies and even Laurel and Hardy movies, sanitizing history for a new generation. No. Even the worst of our history needs to be preserved because that shows the continuity and evolution of us as a civilization or as a country, as a people. It's the old saying: if you forget the past, you're doomed to repeat it. We need to be able to look to the past for inspiration for the future and for reminders of how far we've come and also how tenuous what we've created really is with just a few little shifts in attitudes or laws. So no, I'm not for a 1984 sanitizing of history.
Never. No. Absolutely not.
I assume, well, I don't assume. Satsu, what do you think?
Well, the whole thing with the sanitation of history is somebody has to sanitize it, and there's always the possibility of them sanitizing only what they feel needs to be sanitized and keeping whatever benefits or whatever they believe in or whatever. So,
Mr. Monopoly says, Scribelight, I take it you do not follow Norm Macdonald. Norm Macdonald is great either being an interviewee or being an interviewer. His stand-up
is
hit or miss. Yeah, hit or miss, mostly miss. But when you see him on Conan O'Brien or talking to Jay Leno or these guys, he is an absolute gut buster. He has great stories. He tells a great story. He interviews really well. So yeah, he's more of a he has to have a straight man or an audience basically or someone to play off of. By himself,
He is probably one of the best comedians ever for being interviewed.
Yes.
He is just fucking amazing. But you're right. Just his stand-up is like, oh God, please stop.
Yeah, if you listen to his interviews on Howard Stern, especially if you look up on YouTube, if you want to like laugh your ass off, there's two different stories you have to find of Norm Macdonald being interviewed. I think they're both on Conan. The old Conan O'Brien show. I don't know what he's done lately. But first off, you have to look up Chairman of the Board and Norm Macdonald. Find the full interview on that one. And the Larry Flint story. Both of those interviews, it really doesn't matter the day of the week. If I watch either one of those, I'm cracking up. It's great. Let's see. Who did I miss here? Mono Winter Scribe, would you date a nugget person?
Do you know what a nugget is?
My first instinct was to say someone who likes eating chicken nuggets, but I'm guessing that's not it.
It's a quadruple amputee.
Oh, God. Probably not, but I don't know. Stranger things have happened. I don't
Somebody
know.
find that blonde one, and
Oh
by the way,
no!
it's a dirty picture.
Oh no!
I'd bang it. I'd do it.
Well, Monkey would, yeah.
I would dip her right in my sauce.
Oh God!
Hell yeah.
Ebony Williams, ever gone fishing? Yes, several times with my father when I was young. How about you guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've gone a couple times. Wasn't the dad from the fucking Oblongs like that or something? You remember that show?
No.
Their whole family was fucked up because they lived by like the fucking landfill or whatever. And like the dad was like, he had no limbs at all, and the kid was all fucked up. Like one of his eyes was like significantly bigger than the other. His mom was bald, and
so Alabama. Sorry for all you Alabamians. I love you. I'm just kidding. I have family in Alabama, so I can make that joke. Let's see. Sean Uli. Robin Williams is the all-time best comedian.
Robin Williams had some great shows. Unfortunately, they were pretty much all the same.
And he stole a lot.
He tells a great joke. He's a great entertainer.
Yes.
But if you watch his first shows he ever did back in the 80s, and then you watch his live on Broadway, he's still telling some of the same jokes.
Yeah. And he was
also fine, but
he was also well known for stealing other people's jokes. But to his credit, I guess, he would always know when he was taking someone else's material, and then he would send them a check, which is kind of a weird way to get around it, I guess. But yeah, and that's not to detract from the guy as a human being or anything else. I think Robin is one of the best and probably one of the most kind-hearted entertainers in the world. And honestly, I think somewhat of an underrated actor, because if you saw the breadth of his ability between doing something like Father's Day with Billy Crystal, and then you look at 1 Hour Photo, or Dead Poets Society, and I don't know, Moscow on the Hudson or something. He had a range, and I don't know if people actually gave him as much credit as he should have gotten for some of his acting abilities. But Awakenings, he did a lot of really good movies. I wouldn't call Patch Adams one of them, though, as Mr. Monopoly.
Definitely not.
Patch Adams sucked. Sorry. Goodwill Hunting was only good because he was improvising the whole time, practically.
Any of his comedy movies, he was basically doing improv of his own stuff again.
That's true. Let's see. Mork and Mindy. That's one of those shows, and that's one of those characters. It's like, how just by random chance did that ever become popular? And only on the energy of Robin Williams did that character in that show ever exist.
It was great though, because that is a alien spin-off of Happy Days.
I know, it's so bizarre. You can find clips of like the first appearance of Mork on Happy Days, and it's just like, and there's a whole the story behind Mork and how that whole thing happened is probably more entertaining than watching him do Mork that first time. But anyway, let's see. We got 2 minutes to go. Faithless says Jonathan Winters was great too. Jonathan Winters, Don Rickles, some of the old guard.
Oh yeah,
were always funny as both interviewees. Rickles' stand-up stuff. Yeah, again, anybody trying to do Rickles today who wasn't Don Rickles would be sent to jail. I mean, they wouldn't get away with it. There's very few people in the world who could get away with it, and Rickles was one of them. And he was great. There's a great documentary about him and his career, Mr. Warmth. Great guy. Andrew Dice Clay. Andrew Dice Clay he's pretty good sometimes.
The problem with Clay is that he was a good comedian. He actually who was it? Ron White, when Ron White was on with Joe Rogan, he talked about it. He's like, no, I know him by his actual name. His name is not Andrew Dice Clay.
Mm-hmm.
But he does actual good stand-up, but he got so typecast for that one character, which is fine. I mean, that made him a fucking millionaire.
Yeah.
But he is very underrated as an actual comedian.
And if you want to see one of the most awkward interviews ever, look up Andrew Dice Clay on CNN. Oh God, that is like the interviewer starts asking him questions that don't apply to him and stuff, and it's terrible. He like swears live on. It's great. It's awkward as fuck, cringy as hell, but it's great. Anyway, guys, with Andrew Dice Clay, we've reached the top of the hour and the end of the show. And Snatch says Patrice O'Neill. Yes, Patrice O'Neill for sure. Great. Patrice is always great. So guys, remember over on 2 Cents Plus, shortly after this, Monkey and Satsu will be conquering the universe in No Man's Sky. Remember, per usual, tomorrow night will be on Monkey's channel at the regular time. What else do I want to plug before we go? I'll tweet it out into my Twitter here shortly. But be sure to check out Blind Press's GoFundMe for her and Pinkalo the driver's wedding. If you can donate to that, that would be most appreciated. And other than that, I think that's everything. Have I forgotten anything?
No. We will be streaming No Man's Sky after this, and I have a very long list of games that you guys get to choose from for the giveaway because there's a really good sale going on.
All right, guys. So look forward to that. Anyway, chat again. Thank you for joining us as you always do. You guys are the best audience anyone could ever ask for, and then some. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though we have the best behaved audience in the world. And everybody who donated, thank you, thank you, thank you. So many thank yous for your generosity. I really do appreciate it. It'll all go towards Dr. Pepper and Goldfish and my encroaching diabetes. Thank you so much. Monkey, Satsu, thank you for joining me as always.
No problem.
And everyone, your lives make us sad, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
And I am taking out my copy of Screw the Roses, Send Me the Thorns, the Romance and Sexual Sorcery of Sadomasochism. And today's secret word. Okay. Today's secret word is weakness.
I
Aight.